Okay, so I want to talk about the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker trail. I know it's the new sequels are so far not been my thing too much. I mean, I'll start with Force Awakens. Force Awakens wasn't too bad, but whatever. And then you had The Last Jedi, which I hate to say it, I couldn't sit through the movie. But the trailer so far for The Rise of Skywalker has me kinda interested. So, I got a few opinions on it. First off, C-3PO with red eyes? That could be kinda interesting. Like a dark side C-3PO or something? I mean, I could go for that. Imagine it being like, I don't know, Terminator C-3PO or something. Or maybe we get I don't know, at the very least, if it turns out to be like an evil C-3PO or maybe something to that effect, I can say would make for a nice action figure. But we're not here to talk about toys right now, despite the fact that I'm wearing this mask. What I want to talk about is a couple other things. So in the trailer, or trailers, I think there's been two of them now, we've seen the wreckage of the Death Star a couple of times, and that sounds kind of neat, because when the Death Star exploded, yeah, I don't recall, and I know it's been a while since I saw the movie, but I don't recall a lot of debris flying away from it. It's kind of implied that it just blew up and everything was destroyed. But I guess it makes more sense when you think about it, that you would end up with some kind of debris on some kind of planet. So I can see what they're going for, and I don't entirely hate it. Actually, I like the idea of there being a battlefield in the wreckage of the Death Star on some kind of planet. Now, what planet that would be, I don't know, maybe Endor? And then, I don't know, it's gotta be Endor. If it's not Endor, then the wreckage must have gone pretty far. I suppose there's a few other planets it could be, and it might be an entirely new one. So, I don't know, I kind of like that idea, and think of it this way. Even if the movie isn't great, which I don't have the best hopes for it, but I mean, I do hope it'll be good. Because I honestly didn't like The Last Jedi, and that's just my personal opinion. But I think there's a chance this movie could be good. I want to give it a chance. Because this could be one of the last major movies in Star Wars. It's the end of the Skywalker saga, supposedly. Unless they go and retcon that later on down the road, but whatever. What we got going on is all kinds of interesting stuff in this trailer that could or could not be good or bad. My personal thought is this could be good, but it could also be bad. I'm hoping it'll be good, because I have a lot of issues with The Last Jedi, and that's just the way it is. Force Awakens, not as many issues with that. It was alright. But overall, the sequels haven't impressed me a whole lot. Don't entirely hate them, but I don't know. Okay, so Force Awakens was fine. Last Jedi, I absolutely can't stand that movie. And again, that's just my opinion on it. Not gonna hate on anyone who does like the movie. I just don't care for it. Now, this Rise of Skywalker, it's looking interesting. So in the trailer, there's a scene where they're battling on some kind of barge or ship, it looks like, on the ocean, and in the background it seems to be the Death Star debris as well, as it was seen in a few other scenes too, in one or two of the trailers. So it seems to be like the wreckage of the Death Star is out in an ocean, maybe? And if that's the case, maybe it's not Endor. So I'm not really sure where that would be, but what got me excited about this trailer, aside from Red Eye C-3PO, that sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh card or something, and the Death Star debris being a potential battlefield for either in the movie or even in the Battlefront 2 video game, was the fleet of Imperial Star Destroyers. But make no mistake, these Star Destroyers are not First Order Star Destroyers. I saw them, I see what they look. If you watch the trailer, you can tell that they are Imperial Star Destroyers. Not as big as the First Order Star Destroyers, but they're the classic ones. It's what you saw in the original trilogy, and it's a massive fleet, bigger than probably any fleets we've seen so far. Well, at least any fleets we've seen in the original trilogy or the sequels. In the Clone Wars, I believe they had some larger fleets, but that was a long time ago, and I haven't got to rewatch those movies in a while. I will say I did like the prequels every bit as much as the original trilogy, if not more, and I'm still hoping that the sequels get better. You never know. It could be a disaster, or it could be great, but we just don't know. So, speaking of the Death Star and stuff, what I'm thinking is that possible wreckage could be where we find Palpatine. Or, this is of course assuming Palpatine does return, which supposedly he is going to. So, Palpatine, or maybe he'll be in the wreckage, which seems the most likely possibility. Kind of like walking into a boss fight, when you go into a big area. That could be a spot for a boss fight of some sort. In a video game, or heck, Rey, who, not my favorite Star Wars character, but let's not talk about that right now. Rey could go into the wreckage and encounter some form of Palpatine. Maybe he's a Force ghost now, maybe he's possessed somebody else. He could be any number of things. He could be a clone, he could be a robot, who knows. I guess there's been some leaks out, but I'm trying to avoid that stuff. Don't want too many spoilers, but hey, this is the internet. Spoilers are plentiful. So it's hard to avoid them. Heck, there'll probably be some in the comments at some point. But whatever. But that is how it is. Now, I am curious about the scene with Darkseid Rey. And the thing that's got me most curious about it, aside from the fact that it's probably a vision, unless she does straight up become a villain, which is still possible. I mean, it is called Rise of Skywalker, and if you want to get technical, Kylo Ren is kind of a Skywalker, so maybe it's him rising up to defeat the Darkseid version of Rey. I don't know. But the Darkseid Rey thing is probably a vision. But that weird double-bladed lightsaber thing that kind of flips out, it's kind of odd. It's kind of like Darth Maul's lightsaber if it could fold like that, maybe. So that's an interesting design. And I know lately lightsaber designs have been getting a little out of hand. I mean, Kylo Ren's is shaped like a cross. And yeah, I know it's because it has vents on the side because of a broken crystal and everything. I get that. But, we'll see where this odd-looking lightsaber goes. It's kind of a cool design, and honestly, I wouldn't mind having a prop for that. Like, if they made, a full-size, essentially a toy or a costume prop version of it, that'd be pretty cool. I might buy that. Regardless of whether or not the movie is good, because that would just be cool. Even though it is an odd design, but I don't know how you would use a double-bladed lightsaber if it was folded like that, with both blades extended. That is kind of, redundant maybe. But when you unfold them, and you have both blades extended, you're basically Darth Maul. And who doesn't want to be Darth Maul? I just don't want to get my legs cut off like he did. Yeah, as much as robot legs are cool, I don't need those. But anyway, yeah. So to sum it up, Rise of Skywalker, I'm kind of excited. but not super excited. I am a little worried about, considering how The Last Jedi went down, I'm a little concerned that something like that could happen again, and the likelihood of that kind of disappointment is still there. I don't think it's as high of a likelihood, but we really don't know. I want to give this movie a chance. This is one of the last chances Star Wars has. If it wants to come back and be really popular again like it used to be, it's got to do good with this movie. And, I mean, I watched the Han Solo movie, and I actually watched that whole movie. Unlike The Last Jedi, which I just eventually couldn't sit through after it got so crazy. Now, I did eventually see some of the scenes that I missed. Some of them were alright, some of them not so much. I still hold, I mean, I'm not holding a grudge, but I still ain't exactly happy of how Luke Skywalker was handled for the most part. But I'm not mad about it anymore. I'm over that. I want to give this last movie a shot. And who knows? Like I said, the Han Solo movie, I'll go into that another day. Or, well, in another video. I can talk about what I think of the Han Solo movie. Now, I did watch that a while back, so I don't remember everything I saw in it. Because, let's face it, not super memorable. But again, I don't want to go into that right now. Other than I'll say I liked most of it. Not all of it, but most of it. So, yeah. Rise of Skywalker trailer. Interesting. Some concerns. No major concerns as of yet until we find out more about it. That switchblade lightsaber could be cool. It could also be, I don't know, strange, but it's cool. It's a cool concept. The wreckage of the Death Star, that's got to be a new battlefield for Star Wars Battlefront 2. It really does. If they choose any other map for Star Wars Battlefront 2 other than the wreckage of the Death Star, I'll be a little bit disappointed. Not completely, because, you know, the game is fun. But yeah, I hope they don't mess this up too bad. I want to see Star Wars successful. I want to see it as good as it was. And I honestly think they have a chance here. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Those are my thoughts on the Rise of Skywalker trailer. If you would like to hear my opinions on Han Solo movie, the possible Kenobi movie or TV show, I guess he's getting a TV show, and Boba Fett and all that good stuff. You want to hear what I think of the Clone Wars? Can't say much about the cartoon, but I can say stuff about the prequels. And that's just because I haven't really got to watch the cartoon. But yeah, when I get around to watching the cartoon, I might have some more opinions on it. But yeah, I hope this does well. I really do. It's not my last chance I'm going to give Star Wars, unless it's an absolute disaster, but we'll see, we'll see. And like I said, if you want to hear what I think of the other movies, the cartoons, whatever, TV shows, live action, cartoons, whatever you want to hear, let me know. Let me know. And feel free to subscribe, like the video, maybe even ring notifications. Now, up until recently, most of my videos have just been stupid gaming stuff. I love video games, and most of the stuff I post is just, again, goofing off in video games and things like that. But I'm trying to move on to other things, so I'm not strictly doing stupid stuff in games. I have a lot of things I want to talk about, you know, especially with Star Wars and other brands, other franchises. Heck, you might get a video about Transformers from me sometime soon, because, well, I'll talk about that some other time. So, yeah, see you around. Talk to you later. Let's have a discussion in the comments. Thank you very much, and goodbye. And this mask is getting very hot and sweaty. Alright, I'm done. See you later.